Hello, welcome to Eye on You. As an academic subject with a long history, biotechnology is very important for human beings. In ancient times, people have been using fermentation to make wine, and today there are examples of special crops being cultivated and cloned through genetic modification. Hong Kong's universities are world-renowned for their bioscience research, but the investment in the industry is far less than of the world's biotech powerhouses. With the pressure of an aging population, biotechnology which can be used in healthcare system, but it is not yet fully mature, this will be a key for Hong Kong's future development. Professor Albert Yu, chairman of Hong Kong Biotechnology Association, is a world-renowned bio-entrepreneur and scientist with over 30 years of experience in the field of neuroscience and molecular diagnostics. Also, he has published several books and over 200 peer-reviewed scientific articles and conference papers. He is also the co-inventor of numerous technologies with patents granted in major countries. Today, we are very honored to have Professor Yu here to talk about his experience and his will on biotechnology. Hello, Professor Yu.
Hi,
Thank you for coming to our show today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So you have over 30 years of experience in neuroscience and biotechnology. Can you tell us why it makes you so interested in bioscience?
Well, life is a very interesting thing, okay? Able to investigate what is life, where we're from, how to save life, and how to sustain life is something very challenging for anybody who loves science, right? And this is why I originally wanted to be a doctor, but finally when I got into graduate school, I found out there's more to know in life science. So I shift my focus into neuroscience because we know very little about our neural nervous system. Right. Okay, and after that I found out that we have to translate this scientific knowledge into application. That's why I start to move into biotechnology.
Yeah. So what is the transition of being a neuroscientist to biotechnology, as what you have said just now? So how do you see the transition from now and then? Because in like 10 or 30 years ago, the bioscience it hasn't been developed yet.
Yeah, at that time it's still very immature. Okay,
Yeah.
just in the last 30 years, the advances is tremendous. Okay, for myself, I'm still a neuroscientist because I'm still maintaining a lab in Peking University where I investigate the cellular biology of the damaged brain, and I look into the genetic evolution and changes. But in Hong Kong, I'm working on a biotech product called BioRadar. Okay. As you can see that during COVID-19, there's a lot of people die of pneumonia.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 6.7 million people die of pneumonia. Even in the USA, we have over 1 million people die of pneumonia. What happened to us? Pneumonia has been with us for many, many, many years. But why we die of pneumonia? We still die of pneumonia. It's because pneumonia is a very complicated disease. Okay, like for example, we have a community of bacteria infect our lung. But my population of bacteria will be different from you because we have different immune system. Another problem is that it's also personalized. That means your pneumonia and my pneumonia will be totally different.
Yeah.
Now, how can the doctor treat you and treat me if they could not see the difference between two of us? Okay, the only way is provide them a BioRadar, a radar. They can tell exactly the difference between you and me. So in that case, they can provide different treatment. So the success will be very, very high. But the problem right now, we don't have the BioRadar. That's why people die of pneumonia. And the pneumonia cause is by COVID-19. But now we have flu that can cause us pneumonia too. So we have many causes. But this time we have 6 million people die of pneumonia. Though for myself as a scientist, it's unforgivable because we didn't do enough. That's why the device or the system I'm developing we call it bioradar, because we can use your sample or my sample, and then within 1 hour we will able to tell the difference. So the doctor will be able to use different treatment for you and me. The chances for us to recover from this pneumonia will be much higher because the doctor has a guided treatment. We have personalized treatment. So the chances for us to die with pneumonia in the future will be reduced to minimum.
So it's a mixture of like genetics experiments or blood samples will be taken, or what kind of samples you need to put in the
You have
grader?
some science. Of course, we have to collect the sample.
Yeah.
But people will think that, I can use blood for all kinds of disease testing. But that's not true. Because we want to collect sample closest to the source of disease. That's why for pneumonia, I would recommend to use sputum or saliva, something like that. It will be very simple and straightforward because the bioradar system is very robotic. So I believe that once the bioradar system is out, we will reduce the pneumonia-caused death or disease.
Yeah, but facing the difficulties of different mutations of the germs or the virus, so how does the radar will be cope with these changes?
Whatever the genes we put onto the bioradar will be determined by us. We keep on tracking the mutation, so we can keep on putting the right gene onto the bioradar. Right. And the bioradar can test over 400 bacteria or viruses. We can even put the drug-resistant gene onto it. So the doctor will have a very full profile about the patient. So, and then the best thing of it is that after they test the patient and then give the patient treatment, after 2 hours they can collect another sample and compare to the original sample. Then they will understand whether the treatment is beneficial or not.
So, Professor Yu, you are not only a scientist and also the entrepreneur. So how do you see the difficulties being the scientist, and how do you make things really happen as an entrepreneur? Because it's not as easy as we thought. Most of them, they just concentrate to the research, scientist research. But in the same time, if you want to make something work, like what you're doing now, you have to make the radar work and promote it to the public. And it's a total different philosophy for
you're right.
for development. So how do you see the difficulties or the challenge?
I don't think it's any difficulty. It's just a challenge because we play many different roles in our life, right? As a scientist or a professor, tell the truth, we only spend money. We spend government's money, public's money to do research. Okay, but as an entrepreneur, you try to make money. Okay, so you have to consider the result of research. One is contribute to the knowledge, that's a scientist. One is contribute to application, that would be entrepreneur. So when you deal with your staff or your student, you will have to use a different mentality. Okay, so it's not very difficult, but it's very difficult in some critical time when you kind of confuse your role as a professor or as a boss. So you have to go through many difficulties. We have to overcome a lot of psychological barriers, but eventually you will learn it. Okay.
So in policy-wise, do you think the Hong Kong government has supported science research and also entrepreneur on this area?
Yeah, of course. As you can see, that compared to 20 years ago, now we have much more money put into research, and that's why we have 5 universities become top 5 in the world. Okay, it costs money. But another thing is that whether you have to do the upstream, midstream, and downstream. Now, are we brave enough to put more money into midstream and downstream? This is the business, the industry. And Hong Kong government, before, they kind of hesitate to put money into business or industry. But I think it's about time to change. I can see they're changing. Now, if you look at the blueprint recently on the high technology port, okay, and I think they have put up a lot of good policies, and because they decide to put more money into it. And I think the most exciting thing that I can see is that they decide to make Hong Kong become an international technology hub.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this is very important because among all the technologies, biotech is still one of the most important part of it.
Yeah.
That's as I look at it.
Yeah, and also I know that you have just organized conference, Bio Hong Kong conference, which is the first time happened in Hong Kong.
That's right.
So can you tell us, have it achieved your aim, or what did it achieve?
No, it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we think that we have to create a Bio Hong Kong. That's something that focus on biotechnology industry, because I think it's about time to do that. And then got to remember one thing: biotech is a global business. Its product has no boundary, so it's something for all human. Okay, the product will benefit for all the humans. And Hong Kong, we are one step ahead. Is that we have this stock exchange, create this Chapter 18 A policy. That means a biotech company without making any profit, they can be IPO. Okay, but another problem is that if we want to make it as a global thing, we still lack of one global exhibition or convention. So at that time, Hong Kong Biotech Organization, which I'm the founder, decide to create an international convention for Hong Kong biotech industry. Using this, we will be able to attract a lot of biotech stakeholders all over the world and from in mainland China together in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then afterward, our Chinese government decide to make Hong Kong an international technology, innovation and technology hub. That match really well with us. But the problem is that we encounter COVID-19 in the last 3 years. So in that case, we are planning keep on delaying. Okay, until the government changed the policy from 0+3. That's why we get it done in last December. Okay, but I think it's a very good experience. We've gone through a lot of difficulties because we are not a convention organizer. Okay, we only know biotech. Okay, but we have help from all kind of people, and the convention center finally make it.
Yeah.
Okay, it turned out to be pretty good. We get about 6,000 people in and out.
Yeah.
We have over 40 symposiums. We have over 100 speakers.
Wow.
Some of them are from the US too.
Yeah.
So we cover basically the major part of biotech.
Yeah.
Okay, and it gives us a very good beginning. So we decided to do it again in 2023. We have already set the date on in September, the second week of September.
Oh, for the second one.
Yeah, and this one will be having a lot of biotech company from China and the rest of the world, because by that time I think the whole world will be opened up. So that will end up finally we will have an international biotech conference or convention in Hong Kong.
Yeah. As what you have just said, the government is wanting, or they wish Hong Kong. We are building up Hong Kong as an international innovation and technology hub.
Yes, that's right.
And I think life science is one of the focus we wants to get into, or being a major player in the world. So do you see the feasibility and it is possible for us to be the major player?
Yeah, I totally believe in that. Because when I talk to many biotech stakeholders in Japan, Korea, Taiwan, even in Thailand, and they actually urge us to set up this international conference in Hong Kong, because those conferences held in other parts, they are not international enough. They still believe, everybody in this part of the world believes Hong Kong is the world city. It's the most suitable place to have an international conference, especially in biotech. And many people will come to Hong Kong because they want to go through Hong Kong, going to China. And then in China, I think a lot of biotech wants to go through Hong Kong to see the rest of the world. Now, one very interesting story is a biotech leader from Thailand. He said, well, Albert, no, my country want me to go to China every year to locate some biotech company. But China is just too huge. Every time I went over there, I only collect 1 or 2 companies. So the best thing is Hong Kong organize an international conference, get all this biotech company from China together in Hong Kong. They only need to make 1 trip, and they will locate most of the company. And this make that job easier. I think convention will bring out all this technology together, and people start to change idea. And then throughout this exchange, I'm pretty sure it will push the technology go forward. Okay, because biotech will be very important because it saves our life. Looking about anti-aging, anti-cancer, okay, all this need biotech to support.
Right. And moving forward to another topic, it will be the nurturing the talents. Do we have enough biotech talents in Hong Kong, or how do we attract more international biotech talent to Hong Kong to develop our life science projects?
It's a very good question, but it's a question can apply to everywhere in the world when they want to do technology. We're short of talent in technology, not only in biotech. Okay, so the best thing is that Hong Kong is still a very attractive place for many people. Okay, they would rather come to Hong Kong because the infrastructure, the only thing is a little bit expensive, but they also make a little bit more money if you're in technology. So I don't worry about attracting people to come to Hong Kong. And then don't forget about station in Hong Kong, you can go into the Greater Bay Area. The area that allow us to exert our talent will be much bigger than before. Okay, but next thing is that we got to remember we can fight for talent from the rest of the world, but the basic problem solving is try to cultivate our own young people to become technologists. Okay, so that's why if you pay attention to our Bio Hong Kong 2022, this is the only international convention that have 1 day open up to all ordinary people, students, etc. The reason is that we want them to expose to high tech. Okay, when all the expertise are gathered together. Okay, now this is one thing that we want to cultivate our youngster. So I think we have to put into more money into education, more time to educate our teacher how to teach technology when the young people still in high school or even in primary school. This is what I think we should do. We cannot walk with 1 leg, we have to walk 2 legs together.
Yes.
So that will eventually solve our problem.
To cultivate our own local talents and also attracting others to come to Hong Kong.
Yeah, I always believe that because I have taught in US, I have taught in Hong Kong, I have taught in Peking, and I found Hong Kong young people are very smart. Smart, that means what? That means they understand how to apply something. And then our youngsters grow up with an international arena. They have access to many news or information all over the world. So I think we have a better chance if we put our heart together.
With your passion and your visions to the young people, I think we will success eventually.
I believe with your help too.
So thank you very much, Professor Yu.
You're welcome.